Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to the finale of our F223 Ollie Bearman career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here in Abu Dhabi. If you missed out on the video that went live last weekend from Monza, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But with just one weekend to go of the season, 7 drivers are still within a shot of the Formula 1 World Championship. It really could go in any direction still as we head into the final weekend. Teo Pourchaire has just a 2-point lead over myself, but Brad Benavides, Victor Martins, Jean Ruvela, Enzo Fittipaldi and Dennis Hauger are all still mathematically in it as we head into this weekend. It's going to be a crazy one. I really am expecting anything to happen, so make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed. Of course, today we have got qualifying and the sprint race. Tomorrow we have got the main event, and let's just see what happens. Well, one final time then here in Formula 2. It is qualifying night here on Friday. And boy oh boy do we need to deliver today. Qualifying has not been my strong point this season. Don't think we've qualified inside the top 10 in any of the last 3 weekends. So hopefully we can try and put on a good show here tonight, of course. You know, the big rival is still got to be Teo Pourchaire. But honestly, I think we've got to get through the sprint race, see who's still in the championship, and kind of work our way from there as we get into Sunday. I mean, how are you meant to prepare for a 7-way championship fight? It's still anybody's game. You know, if Teo and I have a bit of a nightmare in qualifying and start towards the rear of the field, anyone else surely can come in and snooker this away. Of course, Brad Benavides is still in the best shape for that. Of course, led so much of this championship, but has not really delivered in the second half. But of course, you know, it feels like everybody, you know, might get 2 or 3 good weekends, and then something absolutely flips the script. Once again, there is running very, very deep into the hairpin. Fred Vesti, how many pole positions have we seen him bag in the second half of this season? But yeah, we need a top 10 here tonight. We want any real chance at this crown there as we make our way under the hotel. Try and make that corner basically into one smooth motion. And we are right up there with Fred Vesti at the moment. If ever there was a time where I need to deliver on a qualifying, this has surely got to be the one. Through the final corner, where is it going to be on the grid? I think it's P4. Fred Vesti, yet another pole position. But we will take that. We're inside the top 10. We are nestled comfortably inside the top 10. Well, there we go then. Enzo Fittipaldi, Brad Benavides way down the order there in 11th and P13. So, well, I mean, Brad can't be knocked out of it yet. He has to go into Sunday still with a chance at that crown there. But Hauger, he's the one that needs to beat out Pourchaire and I today. And he's going to be lining up on the front row of the grid then, ready for the sprint race. But yeah, Martins to Ruvela, Bearman and Pourchaire were all right next to each other, ready for the sprint. So we've just got to try and beat as many of these guys as possible. Let's get into it. It's Sprint Race Saturday.
It's race day for our young drivers here in the United Arab Emirates, where the Yas Marina circuit is about to play host to the Abu Dhabi Formula 2 race. Let's get started. Yas Marina circuit is a 3.2-mile racetrack built on the man-made Yas Island. In addition to the 16 corners, it features 2 very long straights. Now these will be the drivers' main overtaking chances today into turn 5 and turn 7. I'm sitting here quite emotional next to my friend Davide Valsecchi. Here we are at the end of the F2 calendar, and the atmosphere is electric. I have no doubt the drivers will be giving it everything they have out there today. I can't wait to get underway.
Hey Alex, you are absolutely right. It's a very special place. This is a track like no other, an event like no other, a jewel in the crown of Formula 2. It's perfect. I think we are in for a fantastic racing event here.
Right, well, here we are then, lining up P7 on the grid for the sprint race. And yeah, we need to try and move forward as best as possible today. But really, we all know most of the focus is going to be on the feature race tomorrow there. It's where most of the points are available. And it's, yeah, going to be where everyone is looking to get a big result. But for one final time then, it's 5 red lights. It's a mighty long hole, but it is lights out and away we go there. And Awasa, I was going to try and go down the middle of him. We do get around the outside. There was Hauger immediately into the lead down at turn 1. We've got Pourchaire though. Big move from the Frenchman as he goes down the inside of Isaac Hadjar through turn 1. We managed to get around the outside of the other Frenchman there, but not quite as ballsy as a move as Teo's been able to make there. So my main championship rival, the man that we absolutely need to outscore here in tonight's sprint, has, well, he's still ahead of me, of course, started in P6, just one place ahead of me for this sprint race. But of course, yeah, we did the finale of the Lancia career mode a couple of days ago here. So yeah, there's a lot of Abu Dhabi on the channel this week. But how will we get on? You know, luckily, obviously, I've had that bit of practice. Of course, I'm using Formula 1 as a practice ready for Formula 2. I mean, we're in a championship fight here. We certainly aren't yet in the Lancia career mode. But Hauger pulling away a little margin at the front of the field. Of course, he needs to outscore Teo and I, though. Well, he needs to outscore myself by 4 points, by Teo by 6, if I remember correctly. But let's not forget there are fastest laps as well. So yeah, would require therefore Hauger to go into the main event tomorrow and require, you know, another win with a fastest lap if he wants any chance at it. But yeah, as we make our way through the final couple of corners of lap 1, our car is loose and lively. We've really put a lot of work into the setup here, trying to make it as dialed in as possible, but it's not going to be any easier. Teo Pourchaire, that ART car looks beautiful under the floodlights here in Abu Dhabi, but is that going to give him that little extra push he needs? I'll be honest, the Prema as well does look fantastic. The reds just look so good inside F123 there, but Hauger just extending his lead at the top of the standings at the moment. We didn't quite match him on fastest lap there, but there was not much in it. But yeah, Hauger, like I said, he needs to win this if he wants any chance of that crown. Some of our other drivers, though, I think it's just, we're just going to have to see what it looks like come the end of the sprint race. I think that's going to be the big thing here, isn't it? Because obviously there's a couple of others that are like 24, 25 points away that basically need to outscore Teo and I. And there's just so many names to remember. And they might go into it tomorrow, basically with 4 drivers needing a win. But yeah, I'm still mainly now focused on Teo, especially with Brad Benavides starting outside the top 10 here. He's going to need a miracle. I mean, he will go into the finale tomorrow still in that fight. But yeah, he's basically going to need a miracle now come the feature race. We just need to outscore Teo, though. Well, yeah, Juan Manuel Correa already dropping off the back of our top 2 here, but I think Kushmaini has just gone and re-snatched that fastest lap away. And, you know, the fact that it's coming down to that here goes to showcase just how crazy this weekend is. We seem to be running a bit more downforce than most of the other cars around us, though. Teo very, very quick down the straights, but we close in on both these drivers through the final sector. How he made up so much time at the end of qualifying. But yeah, it is going to mean I think we're going to spend a lot of time staring at the gearbox of cars in front, and it might mean we have to go for some ballsy moves. Big moment there through the first couple of corners. That's the kind of thing that could make it GG's for me. But we hang on that time round. Yeah, I feel, like I said, I put a lot of work into the setup here, making sure it was everything we needed. It is still, I mean, always the Formula 2 cars feel just a tiny bit on a knife edge. But yeah, this thing I've tried to tune some of that out. But if you're not on a knife edge, you're not pushing hard enough either. Pourchaire, though, under less pressure now. Still unable to find a way around Correa. This is giving me Abu Dhabi 2010 vibes. Still staggered, by the way. Pourchaire is able to hang on to the back of that Van Amersfoort car, isn't it? Down through the first couple of corners. For whatever reason, I'm just messing up the hairpin now repeatedly. That might leave me vulnerable to Isaac Hadjar behind then, as Yuma Owasa waiting in the wings. There goes Pourchaire, though, around the outside of Correa. So it is all kicking off then on lap 6. And there we go, Teo Pourchaire, I think, has completed the move on the Van Amersfoort driver. Up into P3 he goes. But will we see Correa come back at him? I've now got no DRS either, as it looks like Correa is still pushing him along. Down the inside goes the young American. And will he be able to find a way back past Pourchaire? He's going to try and go for it. Pourchaire will hang it around the long way, though. He'll get forced out over to the curbing, but he'll have the inside, surely. Ready through into Sector 3 there. But look at that Correa. Clean around the outside there. What a ballsy move. And you can just see Pourchaire, of course, has got everything to lose at the moment. He doesn't want to risk it. And suddenly we're right back in the fray again. I mean, this is the other thing we've got to think about as well. Is obviously the tyre strategy come race day Sunday, because if you could look after your mediums slightly better, you could potentially be in for a big game during the bizarre strategies that get formed come on a Sunday. I mean, yeah, maybe because of those weird strategies, it has allowed this season to be more wide open than any I've ever seen before as we drift our way through the final couple of turns, but yeah, we're going to have to wait for F224 for that to get all fixed. I'm looking forward to that, though, with the new cars. Every year I intend on doing a Formula 2 series. I do genuinely love doing them. And when you get a season like this, it goes to show why they're really attacking through the first couple of turns. Again, another sideways moment. But we're just trying to hang as close to Pourchaire as we possibly can here as we make our way out of the hairpin, though. There we go. Mark pretty happy with the way the tyres are. But yeah, Correa is pretty much got a train from him down to P21 here. I think Roy Nissani is the only one that hasn't stuck with it. So Correa is defending from basically everyone this afternoon. That, again, was another scary moment. We are sliding around all over the show. All I'm really hoping is at the moment, though, is because we've got more downforce on the car, whether our tyre wear is going to be slightly better and it is going to allow us to go for a late race attack on the Frenchman in front of me still. But yeah, we basically got it to 5th off the start and have pretty much hung there throughout the rest of this race. That's a really nice run. That's really tidy through the first couple of turns, and now we're less than 3/10 back behind Pourchaire. Can we get all under his gearbox as we try and get a run out onto the back straight again? Teo better than anybody else in that traction zone. We're starting to pull away from Isaac Hadjar a little bit more, but here goes Pourchaire then back to the outside of Correa like we saw a few laps ago. Will the Van Amersfoort car once more be able to hang on? Will we be able to try and do something about it as well as Pourchaire will slip back through? I just don't have the confidence off that chicane. Come on, Correa. We need to see him go for the move again. Potentially back down the inside of Teo Pourchaire. He's getting closer, but not this time. Correa backs out of it, accepts defeat in that moment. We try and look around the outside of the Van Amersfoort car, and that is really not good for us then. Teo Pourchaire is going to be vulnerable, as well you can see Correa really struggling with the grip then, so maybe has just taken too much out of those tyres, but now Pourchaire has a car between us. Well, yeah, Correa is struggling. You can see Pourchaire already has just opened up about a 7/10 gap, so we need to try and find a way around him then onto the back straight. There we go. No, we won't. We'll not even wait for the back straight. We'll go down the inside of the hairpin there.
Great manoeuvre. You made it look so easy.
And Correa just struggling a bit more than myself and Teo in front, but now we've got to try and utilise the DRS to get a little bit closer to Pourchaire once again. We need to try and beat him here. We need to go into that final race at least level on points. That way, if something happens, we should get it by virtue of countback. But has Teo Pourchaire just left a little bit more in the tap there? Again, fantastic traction off the corner. We are struggling. We're going to be under pressure from Correa again to the outside. Goes the Van Amersfoort car, but will hang firm. He's going to try and switch to the inside through the hairpin there. Wheel-to-wheel stuff, but we will hang on around the outside there. And let's go in pursuit of that ART. That's not what I meant. Big moment down at the end of the triple right-hander. And now we've got even more work to do. Well, unless Dennis Hauger has saved a little bit of his tyres. I think, yeah, Kushmaini's stealing that fastest lap. He's going to make the difference, and he's going to knock the MP Motorsport driver out of the championship fight. We're just trying to hang on to P4 now. We just have not had the pace to match Teo towards the end of this, and a couple of little mistakes here and there I'd rather just bring home the P4. So I think we're going to lose out on another point to the Frenchman. That's a real shame because, well, we could have been... Obviously, effectively, it's worth 2 points, isn't it? Because if we were ahead of him, the gap would be just 1 point going into the feature race tomorrow. Isaac Hadjar, though, is he going to try and spoil my party on the very last lap? We overtook him on lap 1. Can he make it happen there? Oh, he had a look to the inside. Isaac Hadjar trying to make it happen, but we'll just try and park the bus and sit defensive off of the corner there and focus on getting the power down once again. Correa, it was such a valiant defense from the 2 championship protagonists when it wasn't enough come the end of this race, and we know that I believe, unless my maths has failed me, Dennis Hauger is now definitely out of the title fight. But how many other drivers has Théo Pourchaire knocked out of it with a podium finish here tonight? Don't mess up again on this final lap. I cannot get that final few corners right anymore. We'll rejoin the circuit there, still just ahead of Isaac Hadjar. But as we make our way through the final turns, tyres have completely gone. Hauger is going to win the sprint race, but it's not going to be enough. I believe he is mathematically out of the championship fight there. Kushmaini P2 ahead of Théo Pourchaire, and we lose another point to our rival.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And that brings to an end another great race. And I have to wonder, Davide Valsecchi, just what set them apart from the competition here.
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just 1 lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the MP Motorsport team, and I'm very happy to see them up there on the top step of the podium. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the driver's table. Théo Pourchaire can celebrate tonight as his championship lead is extended even further. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
I'll probably go for Dennis Hauger. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in the pack, and he was good enough to take the opportunities.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Teams Championship. There was also a strong showing from the MP Motorsport team today as they make their way up the standings. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Well, there we go then. Dennis Hauger, race winner tonight, but it is not going to be enough for him there. And 0.5 of a second, I believe, has made the difference here. But Théo Pourchaire and myself there, the ones making the big gains tonight, goes to show the pace that we have got, just that little bit extra over some of our big rivals then. Isaac Hadjar, Correa, Awasa and Aruvula round out our top 10, and that really does help out MP Motorsport in the Constructors' Championship there. 32-point lead for ART still, but yeah, it could still go to either MP or Prema as well there. It does mean Drivers' Championship-wise, well, with just 1 race to go then, it is down to a 4-way scrap there. Gian Aruvula, Dennis Hauger, 1 and 2 points out of it respectively there. Enzo Fittipaldi even further back, but with just 26 left to fight for, it's 3 between myself and Théo here. Could Victor Martins spoil the party? Brad Benavides needs a big result as well. We will be back tomorrow with the finale of FIA Formula 2. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and yeah, we'll be back, like I said, tomorrow for that final race here in Abu Dhabi. A massive thank you to all of my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters for their continued donations to help my work. These things go much further than I think a lot of you ever realise and allow me to continue making content full-time here on YouTube. So if you want to support me from as little as £1 a month and be featured on all of these end clips, either click the join button next to the subscribe or head over to my Patreon. There's a link down in the description.